Good Tuesday evening, October 15th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. The 216-acre Squilchuck fire is now 60% contained. We'll have an update coming up. Online and telephone scams by con artists posing as police officers are becoming more common, and a new one is now circulating around Chelan County. Breezy and cooler weather on tap for Wednesday, with wet and even cooler conditions expected by the end of the week. Your local weather details are straight ahead. The pursuit of a stolen truck led to a crash early Monday near the junction of Orondo and Cherry Streets in Wenatchee. Police Chief Edgar Reinfeld told NCWLIFE News it started when a pickup truck left idling near the corner of First Street and Emerson Avenue was taken by a group of 3 suspected juveniles at about 3:45 a.m. Police spotted the vehicle about an hour later and tried to catch up with it. Reinfeld says a pit maneuver failed to stop the stolen truck, and it eventually crashed into a group of parked vehicles on Orondo Avenue. 2 parked cars were seriously damaged along with that stolen truck. The suspects ran from the scene and are still being sought by police. The Eastmont School District is asking voters to renew its Educational Programs and Operations Levy. This levy is the same rate residents are paying now at $1.93 per $1,000 of assessed value. This levy is different from the school bond that failed to pass earlier this year and does not fund improvements to school buildings. Levies fund things like athletics, music, elective classes, and much of special education, and also jobs not funded by the state, including teachers, paraeducators, and maintenance workers. The district says the levy comprises nearly 15% of Eastmont's operating budget. The Squilchuck Road fire is thought to be largely under control just 2 days after it erupted southeast of Wenatchee. The state incident team handling the fire says it's now 60% contained and was held overnight to 216 acres in size. The National Weather Service in Spokane collected this loop video of the fire's growth from its camera at Pangbourne Memorial Airport. Crews spent today shoring up containment lines and plan to begin sending some personnel home tonight. Level 1 evacuation warnings remain in place for parts of Squilchuck Road and Wenatchee Heights. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. A section of the Apple Capitol Loop Trail is getting a new look. The Wenatchee City Council on Thursday agreed to spend about $345,000 to spruce up the trail between Thurston Street and Hale Park, where bikes and pedestrians currently share space with passing motorists. The work will help separate trail users from vehicles and add overhead lighting. Senior project engineer Don Nelson told the council the work will use part of a $600,000 Complete Streets grant from the Washington Department of Transportation.
This project will provide some meandering where we see some space that is towards the river from the edge of the road. We have some additional space before there's a cyclone fence, some trees, things like that. The trail will meander and get closer to the fence, provide a better separation from the driving surface, making it more comfortable for, I like to walk and look and see things. And part of this will include some larger rock instead of the kind of sandy gravel that's out there now. It'll be the cobbly, more rock, and provide a better distinction between the edge of the road where sometimes we find cars that are parked on the other side of the trail next to the fence, and we're trying to discourage that function.
When we come back, the Eastmont School District has submitted its proposal to the Washington Interscholastic Activities Association to consider a 3rd open division for student athletes who are transgender. And Douglas County has relocated an East Wenatchee ballot drop-off site, but it's less than a block from its former spot. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Check out clubcrowcashmere.com for upcoming events and tickets.
During the time I have served as your commissioner, the PUD has paid down more than $700 million in debt. I've worked hard to keep power rates low and utility services reliable. More than 80% of county residents have access to high-speed fiber. I'm a real believer in local collaboration and decision-making to get things done on behalf of all residents and decisions made, creating the best outcomes for the most people for the longest period of time. Thank you for your vote on November 5.
Let your voice be heard. I'm former Chelan County Sheriff Brian Burnett, and I'd like to be your District 12 state representative in Olympia. With my extensive experience in law enforcement, I'm eager to serve you to ensure your community and neighborhood public safety. I intend to safeguard and improve your quality of life. I support your private property rights, lowering your tax burden, helping small business to thrive, fiscal responsibility, and your public safety.
Paid for by the committee to elect Brian Burnett for state representative.
Hi, this is Brad Hawkins, and I'm running to be your next Chelan County Commissioner. I'm very proud to have grown up in Wenatchee, and now to be raising a family of my own here. From Washington Elementary to Washington State Capitol, I've gained valuable experiences in my life and career, and I look forward to bringing it to the county. Serving as a county commissioner is a complex job. We need and deserve a proven, experienced leader. I'd be honored to have your vote.
Online and telephone scams by con artists posing as police officers are becoming more common. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office says a new one making the rounds managed to bilk one victim out of more than $23,000 by claiming the victim owed money and faced arrest if they did not pay up. That scammer posed as a Captain Moody, a name similar to that of the Sheriff's Chief of Special Operations, Ryan Moody. The department says no law enforcement agency will ever contact citizens to collect money, ask for money, or ask for banking information. Anyone receiving such a call should end the call immediately and file a fraud report online with the Federal Trade Commission. The Eastmont School District has submitted its proposal to the Washington Interscholastic Activities Association to consider a third open division for student athletes who are transgender. The proposal was due on October 11th, and the district needed 4 other school districts to sign on to the proposal for the WIAA to review it. Superintendent Becky Berg said supporting school districts included Moses Lake, Cashmere, Meade, Colville, Linden, and Thorpe. The WIAA currently allows student athletes to participate in sports in a manner, quote, that is consistent with their gender identity. Berg said at Monday's board meeting that the district had not heard from the WIAA since submitting that proposal. Douglas County has relocated an East Wenatchee ballot drop-off site, but it's less than a block from its former spot. The drop box was moved from the Douglas County Services Center at 140 19th Street Northwest to the Douglas County Law and Justice Center, and that's at 100 19th Street Northwest. County officials say the new site is roomier to allow for true drive-up service, and voters won't have to walk from their car to drop off a ballot. The voting period opens this Friday and concludes at 8 p.m. on Tuesday, November 5th. Coming up next, the 2 candidates for Chelan County District Court Judge recently sat down for an interview with NCWLIFE's Jefferson Robbins. We'll bring that to you next in tonight's feature story. Much cooler weather is on the way with rain and breezy conditions as well. I'll have all the details coming up in your full local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Are you a good listener? Do you stay curious when exploring conflicts? Can you manage emotions in stressful situations? Do you want to help people create solutions that work for each person's needs, lives, and culture? we need people like you to learn to be volunteer mediators, and we're here to help. Contact your local dispute resolution center to discuss your interests and learn about training opportunities.
If you live in Douglas County, this message is for you.
Hi, I'm Randy Agnew, the current mayor of Rock Island, and I'm running for Douglas County Commissioner, District 2. I believe the government is supposed to serve the people, and as an elected official, it is my job to make sure that it does. I have a proven track record doing exactly that as the mayor of Rock Island over the last 8 years, and successfully serving on many boards. A vote for me will bring that same leadership and commitment to all of Douglas County.
Paid for by Douglas County First.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
If you've ever dealt with a traffic ticket, an infraction, a small claims lawsuit, or a misdemeanor criminal charge in Chelan County, you've probably seen the inside of Chelan County District Court. Judges who preside there don't see a lot of flashy trials, but the issues they decide on can still have big implications for local laws and how they're applied. A judgeship is a nonpartisan post, and one of those judicial positions is up for elections this fall. Attorney Jay Eyestone is challenging the incumbent judge, Alan Blackman. In tonight's feature story, they spoke with NCWLIFE's Jefferson Robbins about their candidacy. You can watch the full interview and many more in our special election coverage online at ncwlife.com.
Well, I think the number one thing we need to make sure of is access to justice here in all of our courts, not just a district court, but Superior Court or Court of Appeals and the Supreme Court, not only on local levels, but on the federal level as well. And the reason it's that important is that we need to make sure that folks, when they have a controversy or a dispute, they have a forum where that can be heard by somebody that's fair and impartial. And so we want to make sure that by providing that access, whether it's in the criminal side, and appointing public defenders or giving the opportunity for those criminal disputes to be heard, or civil matters, such as our anti-harassment orders or our small claims cases. In fact, small claims cases, we don't have attorneys in those. It's the folks get a chance just to say what they wish to say. And that's something I feel very strongly about, is when folks come before the court, and how I run my court, is I want to make sure that every voice is heard, so people have an opportunity to express to the court whatever they might be. When I'm sentencing somebody, I always ask the defendant, they have what's called the right of allocution. Is there anything you want to say? You can say really anything you want to, just to make sure that you voice and what you want to say is being heard. Same thing with small claims or anti-harassment hearings, making sure the other party gets a chance to speak with their mind, and then the other party, and then I'll go back to that party, anything more, to make sure that they really get a chance to speak what is on their mind and support their position. Now, we're understanding the court is going to have to make a decision one way or the other typically, but I want to make sure that when, at least in my court, when you come before the court, you understand the court has heard you, might rule against you, but understand you just at least had your day in court and you had that opportunity to speak. And so that's what I think, at least for any court in that matter, is access to justice.
The district court judge's most important duty is to make sure that truth shines through and that justice prevails. So a district court judge can hear a lot of different kinds of cases that all might serve unique ends. For example, a criminal case, it has a lot to do with sometimes punishing wrongdoers or rehabilitating them. A civil case can involve righting some wrong that happened between two private parties. And all of those things, righting wrongs or holding people accountable, could happen without a judge being there. For example, a neighbor could take revenge on another neighbor, or the sheriff's office could use its jail resources to punish a wrongdoer without a judge's involvement. But in our system, we put somebody in between that to ensure that when punishments are imposed or rehabilitation is sought, that it's done in a way that is fair, and after we have followed a carefully regulated process to make sure that truth is determined before we impose consequences. And similarly in civil disputes as well, the judge provides a similar function of making sure that the truth about what really happened and what would truly be a fair outcome is determined before somebody acts and takes actions of their own.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope your Tuesday was a good one. Lots of clouds out there. We stayed just a little bit above normal as far as temperatures, but boy, throughout the day, a lot of low, dark clouds moved into North Central Washington. That's the first storm that will affect us as we get into later tonight and especially later in the week before our next storm system moves in this weekend. But what a beautiful shot of Lake Wenatchee. And yeah, showers around the area, and talk about a cool down. 69 was our projected high today. We got fairly close to that, but look at our high as we get you into Thursday, 56 degrees. And not just that, as this system moves through with those cooler temperatures, yes, we have the chance for some mountain snow Wednesday overnight into Thursday morning. Winter driving conditions are possible, and that includes right here locally, Stevens Pass, where there's an 80% chance that we could see 2 inches or more. And remember, that's Wednesday night into Thursday morning. So here we go with these winter travel conditions. 66 unofficially our high temperature today. 61 is where we should be for this time of year, and our record high 78, and that was set in 1991. Awfully mild to start off this morning at 54. 41 is our normal low temperature, and our record cold 28, and that was set a year after our record high in 1992. Sunrise 7:20, and our sun sets tonight at 6:12. All right, taking a look at those Wednesday temperatures, you'll notice they are quite a bit cooler than we've seen. Still holding on to the low 60s in the Columbia Basin. Moses Lake and Ephrata at 63, 62 the high temperature in Quincy, 61s then from Wenatchee into Entiat and Chelan. The cool spot tomorrow, that's right, back down in the 50s. You folks in Lake Wenatchee. Tonight we do expect some showers to continue. That's because this area of low pressure still moving across southern Alberta will drag that cold front with it. And here's that shower activity right along that frontal boundary. We'll turn partly cloudy then in our overnight hours with low temperatures still decent, mid-40s tonight. For Wednesday, partly cloudy, but yes, going to see some breezy conditions. High pressure in the Pacific, that low up in Canada, that'll kick up some winds. Partly cloudy with a high temperature tomorrow, right around 60 degrees. For Thursday, mostly cloudy skies. We will see some isolated showers, and look at the snow in southwestern Montana, panhandle of Idaho. The Cascades could see some. Cooler on Thursday. Look at that. High temperatures only in the mid-50s. For your Friday, high pressure will hold on for a day before this large area of low pressure moves down on us. This will be our evening hours on Friday, a 50% chance of rain. Again, not very warm during the afternoon, mid-50s for highs. On Saturday, we're going to stay mostly cloudy. Here's that low out in the Pacific, and that's bringing that moisture right to the Pacific Northwest. A 50-50 chance for rain Saturday with highs generally in the mid to upper 50s Saturday. On Sunday, I think this is our best chance for the wet stuff. Some windy conditions, but look at that in our late morning hours into early afternoon. Things will get a little bit better in the afternoon, but still it's going to be a wet one with high temperatures in the upper 50s. And then as we kick off our next work week, just a lot of activity out in the Pacific, clouds and scattered showers. We'll see about a 30% chance for rain on Monday, staying cool with high temperatures again only in those mid-50s, and that's what it looks like our trend will be into the early part of next week. 7-day forecast, 48 overnight tonight, 61 tomorrow, breezy conditions, so remember that. And then chances for rain right from Thursday through Saturday. High temperatures in the mid, maybe upper 50s. I think our best chance for rain will be on Sunday. Rain likely and cloudy with highs near 60. And then on Monday, mostly cloudy. Still a chance for those stubborn rain showers with a high temperature Monday right around 56 degrees. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather weather forecast coming up next. Tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
Well, a good Tuesday to you. The Seattle Kraken are in Nashville to face the Predators. Seattle is 1-2 so far this NHL season, looking to get out to a fast start in the conclusion of a three-game road trip. Jaden Schwartz and Coach Dan Bilesma talk about this matchup.
They're a fast team. The games in here are always intense. They got a lot of guys who can make plays. Their defense like to get up in the rush and play aggressive, so they always have a fourth and fifth guy coming. And they're a desperate hockey team right now too, and so are we. So I expect an aggressive game tonight from both teams, and a high tempo game, and they're a team that's obviously looking to spark their offense a little bit, and we are too.
They haven't had winning success yet this season, but they've got joining an already good group of forwards. Obviously, they got two new additions in Stamkos and Marchessault, and so. Pretty talented up front group. Joins a kind of a heavy forechecking, big-bodied bottom six, make them a hard team to play against. They just have a reputation of coming fast and quick and with a lot of speed and with that big body presence. So they haven't got to that success yet, but we're expecting them to kind of respond to where they're at in the season as well, and we have the same opportunity. We didn't like what happened in Dallas, and we have a chance with this game tonight to have a good road trip and win 2 out of 3, and so it should be a spirited match.
Games on Kong TV in Seattle for local tel subscribers. That would be Channel 2. Seattle Seahawks made a trade to get some help on the defensive line yesterday. Seattle picked up defensive tackle Roy Robertson-Harris from Jacksonville in exchange for a 6th-round draft pick next season. Robertson-Harris is in his 8th NFL season, amassing 2 sacks, about 4 quarterback hits, and 6 games with the Jags this year. He began his career as an undrafted free agent in Chicago. Meanwhile, Seattle is playing on the road at Atlanta this Sunday at 10 a.m. That'll be against a 4-2 Falcons team. The game will be broadcast on Fox. Well, the Mariners have announced that catcher Cal Raleigh and utility man Dylan Moore are Gold Glove finalists. How about that? NCWLIFE channel viewers have a chance to get to know pitcher Brian Wu a little more this week with his appearance on I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller.
Alaska was awesome. Obviously, you don't really know a whole lot about it going in. I did a little bit of research before because I did 2 years in Alaska. So I went 1 year right out of college, or right out of high school, and then 1 year after my freshman year of college. But yeah, it was an amazing experience. I had a great host family. I still talk to them to this day. The mom and I, we talk all the time. She updates me on like what their kids are doing, and they come. I've seen them a couple times since. So, and then great fishing too. I like to fish a little bit. I mean, I haven't done a whole lot of it, but they've got a great salmon season like towards the end of July. So a couple times we go, you play night games. So like in Alaska, at least early in the summer, sun doesn't go down until whatever it is, midnight or 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. So you play the game 7 to 10, go home, eat real quick, go fish until 2 in the morning, and it's like still light out. Go home, whatever, you wake up, go fish before the game, go play your game, come back, and it's just like a never-ending thing. So that was a ton of fun, and we had a great team, great coaches, and then it's just really cool to experience Alaska for the first time too, because they got all types of like fun nature. You got hikes and going to the river and all types of stuff. So it was a lot of fun.
I often tell people when I first moved to Seattle many years ago, I told people that I lived as close to having 6 months of sunlight and 6 months of darkness as you could without being actually in Alaska. How would you ever sleep? Can you chop that up? Like,
small
and then we're
pieces.
going to, because we're going to put all of that together and it's going to saute down. How do you sleep though? Like I am the person that has to have it dark.
Yeah, me too. They all have like blinds, like blackout blinds. So when I got there, to my host families, because when I first got there, like my dad and I flew in first morning and we stayed in a hotel, and it was like, I don't know, I think we flew in probably midnight or 1 o'clock or something, and it like didn't ever get dark, and we were like, how do you do this? But yeah, I think at least all the local families or whoever it is, they have all the set up blackout blinds and making sure that like you're kind of forcing kids to go to bed at whatever it is, a decent hour. But yeah, it's definitely it's pretty different.
I never would have thought though fishing like before and after a game. I mean that's the upside,
it was,
right?
Yeah, it was a blast. You got to make the most out of your experience. So we definitely did.
How did you even know that Alaska was an option?
I didn't really. My coach just told me like you're gonna go play summer ball in Alaska, and I was like, wait.
Wait, he just signed you up to
they
play summer
don't
ball?
let you choose like where you go. They just tell you.
Oh.
So he was just like, yeah, you're gonna go play in Alaska, and I was like, I'm gonna go where? Like I didn't even know they had baseball up there. So I did some research, and I found out that it was like a pretty historical league. It'd been around a while, and a lot of good players had come through there, and so I started looking it up, and yeah, it was definitely, it was weird at first. I was kind of skeptical about going out there, but once I got out there, and like I said, a great host family, great team and stuff, so it was a good time.
Be sure to watch Brian Wu with Jen Mueller this week on I Cook, You Measure. Again tomorrow afternoon at 2, Friday at 11 a.m., and then Saturday, Sunday night at 10:30. You can also find the show on YouTube. It's a busy prep girls soccer schedule today. In fact, already underway. Chelan hosting Cascade, while Brewster travels to Tonasket. Liberty Bell is playing host to Lake Roosevelt, and Oroville's at Pateros. The 6 p.m. games have Ephrata at Toppenish, Quincy's at Sela, while Cashmere is hosting Connell. Tonight at 7, it's West Valley at Wenatchee, while Moses Lake is entertaining Davis. Prep volleyball action tonight. Ephrata hosts Toppenish. Tri-Cities Prep visits Quincy. Omak hosts Chelan at 6:30, while Connell at Cashmere. Wenatchee plays at West Valley tonight. Moses Lake is also on the road at Davis. For the B school schedules, Moses Lake Christian is at Wilson Creek. Soap Lake visits Thorpe. Annie at hosts Garden City Academy. Cascade Christian travels to Oroville hosts Pateros. Brewster plays at Lake Roosevelt. Cascade welcomes Bridgeport. Liberty Bell is on the road at Manson. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Tuesday.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at NCWLIFE.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great night.